Hello everyone, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are going to be doing a viewer request video by a chap called David. Apologies, it's been taking me ages to do this video, but we are at Headcorn and we're going to fly to Shoreham, but overflying his hometown. I think it's Maresfield in Uckfield, but this is sort of the airfield that I think you used to train at many years ago. And I'm not sure if you're still flying for real or not, but yeah, it's a pleasure to have a look at this for you. Now, as you can see here, from the air it looks really nice. You can see it's quite a busy place, lots of aircraft around, but that's just the ortho imagery. When we get a bit closer down, things get a bit... it looks a bit pants, if I'm honest. I'm not going to mess around here. I mean, I think the X-plane version of this airfield, whilst that doesn't look that brilliant, looks better than this. So welcome aboard the 152. This is such a beautiful rendition of this aircraft. It's one of my favourites actually in this sim at the moment. I've just checked the weather, by the way, and it's blowing 25 knots, which is not ideal. In fact, probably far above the crosswind component for this aircraft. But hey, it's a flight sim, it's not real life, so no, we'll be alright. Let's just see how we get on. So first of all then, we need to make sure our parking brake is set, put our battery on. Our beacon will be coming on now, and what we need to do really is make sure the fuel cock is in the on position, and we'll just prime that engine a few times like so. All of these beautiful sounds, they're so nice. Okay, so throttle is cracked. We can shout clear prop and fire this bird into life. Oh, those sounds. Immediately I'm transported back to being in this aircraft in real life. You know that kind of smell that these little planes have. Just love it. Can you see how we're bobbing around as well? Very realistic. That's probably due to the wind, but also due to the sort of the power there as we're holding on the parking brake. So we'll just pull the power back a little bit. See, it's still bobbing around. That's just, yeah, nice touch once again. As I say, this sim is full of nice little touches that it's easy to miss, like even the sort of scratches and stuff on the windscreen there. Very nice. Right, anyway, so we actually need to dial in our VOR today, which is 11790. So that's all in there. At this point, we'll go ahead and put our alternator on. Make sure that mixture's fully rich. Wake up our trim wheel. I always forget to do this, but yeah, it's actually woken up really nicely there. In fact, this is actually, the trim wheel I'm using is a Cytec Cessna trim wheel, and it looks exactly like the real thing, so that's really cool. I like that. Okay, I think we're about ready to taxi. This very simple little aircraft. We'll just put our transponder on. We're squawking 77000. Taxi light on. I think we'll put our pitot heat on. I think we're going to probably need that today, to be honest, with this weather. And I think this is an uncontrolled field, so we won't bother with ATC either. So as we begin our taxi, one thing I do love about this sim, in fact many things as you know, but I do love the ground handling. When you're on a grass strip like this, you really feel the bumps, you can hear them, and actually the performance of the aircraft is greatly affected. Very different from X-plane, much improved. So we've just got our pressure setting. In fact, I had to use Active Sky for that. We'll just put one stage of flaps. And yeah, I think we're ready. We'll do a bit of a rolling takeoff here and get airborne. Oh, make sure our... yeah, that's already on. Good. Now I'm constantly sort of stunned by the level of detail of the ortho, even though we don't have actual points of interest, and of course some of these buildings aren't really correct. They look more like you'd get in the south of France, really. But these sorts of buildings here are very, very realistic. That's the kind of houses you'd expect to see. But look, I can even see that little tennis court there in the lines. And what that means is we've got a very crisp ortho, sort of default ortho, at least zoom level 18 out of the box, which I'm just really surprised about. And the other day I did fly an X-plane, and even with the True Earth Orbex scenery, which is payware, the resolution is appalling compared to what you get in the new Microsoft Flight Sim. So all we really need is for Orbex to release a points of interest package and a sort of overlay just to sort out these buildings, and then we really are. You know, we're there, guys. Absolutely. Apart from the fact that we desperately need VR, that's for sure. Absolutely stunning views there. Wowzers. You can see all the cars in the car park there. So David, what reservoir is this? Please let me know in the comments. It looks absolutely beautiful. I want to go there now. That water looks very inviting there. So as you can see here, we've got a bit of cloud around. It's quite dark along the coastline there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And that's something you really need to do in this sim, is pay attention to the weather, something we never needed to do before. In sort of prepared an X-plane, if you saw some sort of dark clouds, it wouldn't really make too much of an impact, to be honest. You wouldn't need to be too worried. But in this sim, it's very much about keeping an eye on what those skies are doing. And we are just sort of on the fringes of this cloud layer here, so I might just descend a little bit. That needle's getting a bit more sensitive, so we should be flying over Mayfield very soon. Nice golf course over there. So crisp, so beautiful. Yeah, but I think generally speaking we're actually heading into the sort of bluer area, so that's good. Might be over here somewhere, the VOR. So from this point onwards we're going to head 300, and I do recognise, as I say, this terrain here from looking at on Google Maps before the flight. So next port of call will be Maresfield in Uckfield, if I pronounce that correctly, which I probably haven't. So this is the area around Duddleswell, I believe, and it's one of the sort of waypoints that I picked. So we're very close now to Maresfield, and again, I mean, this, to me, this looks very, very realistic indeed. Quite incredible how we can have this sort of level of detail streamed to our PCs from all over the world. It's really, really stunning. Let's take a look outside. That's gorgeous. Never fails to impress, that's for sure. So I believe this is the A22 that leads into Maresfield. So we're going to take this road here, and hopefully this should follow us all the way down to where we need to be. This is what I mean, guys, with this sim. You can really dead reckon, just like in the real world. I mean, we've been able to do this for some time in flight simulation, really, providing you've got photographic sort of imagery. But this has taken it to an entirely new level. It really has. So we should keep this road to our left-hand side. I've lost it already. I think I'm right over it actually. And this should lead us straight into our next point to call before heading to Shoreham. I can see the coast from here actually, beautiful. So here we are, this is the town of Maresfield. We're very low at the moment, 500 feet, and as you can see it's really detailed, and this is not a photogrammic 3D scanned area, and yet it still looks this good. Now let's see where David's house could be. You have to let me know if you can spot it. Is it this one here with a huge swimming pool? Very nice indeed. And you can really, actually, it's quite easy to spot because of these sort of, the roundabout here, and there's another one at the other end of the sort of town or village. But let me know what you think in the comments. Is this looking about right? You can see some tennis courts there. Really see even the windscreens of the cars in the ortho. It's very, very crisp. And so even the road markings there, look. Loads of roundabouts in this area. Nice industrial area here. We'll just do one more lap. That really is spectacular. We're down to about 400, 500 feet here, and it's still this detailed. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. This is where the perfect sort of high wing of the 152 comes into play, because you can really, really see that scenery. I have no doubt that even with, if you compare this to the Orbex True Earth package, which is payware, this would actually look better, simply because it's the ortho's so crisp. I think the buildings might be slightly better placed, but I mean really it doesn't, nothing looks too much out of place here, to be fair. Look at that. Bit of a crazy thing going on there. I think they need to work on their cars. That's a bit mental. This area looks very nice here. Looks like it's been resurfaced recently. A fair few swimming pools in this area actually. Very nice. Right then, what we'll do then is we'll head over to Uckfield. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, David, I do apologise. And then head south towards Shoreham. So there we are now, right overhead Uckfield. Have a real good look around here as we fly over. Really, really impressive views. Look at that. I would say that's pretty accurate, to be fair. Certainly looks it. So here we are, welcome to the South Downs. Oh, it just takes your breath away. I'm really, really impressed, as I always am with this scenery. Look at that. I really can't say enough about the sort of level of ortho resolution. They didn't need to go to this length. They could have quite easily got away with a much lower resolution for the whole world, but they haven't. They've gone all out, and I think that really needs to be recognised, to be honest. What I was thinking of doing, guys, actually before landing at Shoreham, is actually overflying the Brighton Pier, because it is over here somewhere, and I believe it is modelled. So I think it'd be wrong of me not to just head down the coast there. But let's just overfly Shoreham and see what it looks like in the default sim. Wowzers. That honestly looks like my payware version of this scenery in X-Plane. And it looks better. I think the only thing that won't look any better is the actual airfield itself. But it's looking pretty good to me, very recognisable. That's, yeah, very, very nice indeed. Oh, gorgeous. Look at that coastline. So there we are, this is Brighton, and you can see here, that's obviously a sort of AI model of the tower that you can actually sit in and go up and see a beautiful view of Brighton. Now I imagine the Black Shark AI thought, well, I know there's a big structure here somewhere, but I'm not quite sure what it is, so they put that in place of it, which is actually quite impressive, even if it isn't quite the correct model. And here is the pier below us. Look at the scratches there, wow. And that is modelled. Absolutely, look at that! Oh my word, that is absolutely, looks exactly like the real thing. That's a better model than the Orbex pier equivalent. I can almost land on that pier and go for a ride on one of those roller coasters. Look at that for a view, guys. That is just insane. I think we need to have a look again at that. I can't get over that for detail. That was definitely worth a little trip to see that. So as we line up here for runway 2, we're going out to sea here a little bit. And just to say that I am trying to get through all of your sort of viewer request videos. But it might be a good idea to stop them now, because I'm just not going to get through them all, to be honest. But if you do feel like giving me a suggested flight, please still feel free to comment below. And if it really gets my attention, I'll certainly give it a try. Right, that's the runway there, so we start reducing the power now. Trim up a little bit. And really adjust the pitch with our power setting. One thing about these Cessnas, you've got to be quite slow before you can retract the flaps, which is a bit of a pain. And that's very much like the real thing as well. Pipers, they're a little bit more robust in that regard. We're looking good here. Beautiful view of that coastline, and the conditions are really nice, very clear. We've hit it pretty lucky actually with the weather. I actually hear the engine popping a bit there. Wow, that is absolutely stunning. Right, flaps 20 degrees, that should be enough. We're on the glide slope here. 2 red, 2 white. Look at that for a view, guys, right over the beach. Very nice indeed. I've got to say, it's supposed to be quite windy, but it's not feeling that windy at the moment. So whether they've got the ATIS incorrect, which is a bug at the moment in the sim, this doesn't feel as bad. Not unless it's right bang on the nose, which might help. We are getting some turbulence now though. These buildings are gorgeous. They're very much what you'd expect from this part of the world. Right over the railway line here. A little bit fast, but that's okay. Okay, we can go to idle now. Glider in. A little bit long landing. Very long landing, actually. And we've got a bounce there, but... oh no, we didn't. I thought we did. Welcome to Shoreham, guys. And that completes our flight today.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra exit runway
thoroughly enjoyable flight. See if I can grab a coffee at the clubhouse here. Look at that grass. Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. If a little tad overgrown, but even the fire truck looks good, doesn't it? Look at that. So this is the default Shoreham. It looks pretty good actually. Now this one does look better than the default X-Plane version. But I'm so used to the Orbex airports that I really hope that they come along very soon. Shouldn't take them too long to port them over. Anyway, there we go. That was a very enjoyable flight, guys. I hope you enjoyed that viewer request video. What we'll do is just have a quick look around. I like to do this these days. Whenever I go somewhere, I like to get the drone up and check out the views. Just increase the speed. I always forget to set that. So here we are, Shoreham in Microsoft Flight Simulator, looking absolutely magnificent. Oh, and I've just been brought a coffee. Look at that. Thank you very much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that flight. This sim just never disappoints. Look at it. Oh, it takes my breath away every time. Look at that. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.